Great you could be with us again. I am joined as always by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes, well, we're going to talk about Bluejacket in a second, apparently. You also got Church Key and downstairs Birch and Barley on 14th near Logan Circle, and up in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, the Grand Delancey. Greg, it is always good to see you.
You too, bud.
Will you tell me what is on tap this week?
This week we have, I think, one of the most special beers we've ever produced at Bluejacket.
Oh.
It's called Borrowed Time, and it is a spontaneously fermented beer in the style of lambic from Brussels and the Pajottenland in Belgium that's been aged on blueberries. So let's take a sip and then I'll tell you all about it.
Ooh. That is nice.
So this is a beer that we started working on in late 2016, early 2017. Spontaneously fermented. So like I said, like a lambic from Belgium, brewed it with 40% wheat, did a turbid mash, a long boil, used aged hops. And then rather than putting the beer after the boil, the wort, I should say, the unfermented beer, after the boil through a heat exchanger to bring it to the temp that we want for fermentation, we put it right into a cool ship, which is that large, shallow stainless steel pan that we have at Bluejacket, and let it cool down overnight. The next day, put it into oak barrels, different kinds, red wine, white wine, and let it further mature, ferment, and age in oak barrels for on average about 20 months. So 2 years in some cases, a year in others, and the blend together is an average about 20 months. Once that was done, we then aged it on 3 pounds per gallon of blueberries for about 12 weeks. And then it has been patiently resting in bottle for about a year and a half.
You knocked that out of the park. There's this lingering, long after the sip is gone, I'm savoring this lingering blueberry taste.
Yeah, and like blueberry skins, and there's tannins from the wood. There's acidity that's very clean and refreshing. But what's cool about this is it doesn't like overwhelm you with like blueberry beer. It's all interwoven. You get a little bit of a earthy, funky character from the Brettanomyces fermentation that happens in the barrel. It's very cool and complex, and only about 6% alcohol.
The funk and the tartness, though, are just right for me, for my taste. I don't like puckery beer so much.
It's very drinkable.
It's very drinkable.
And the thing that's cool, so we've had a cool ship at Bluejacket since our inception in 2013. We have a whole room dedicated to sour and funky beer aging in barrels, and we've released quite a few beers out of that room. But this is really the first beer we've released from the Spontaneous program, because we've been very, very concerned that we didn't want to release anything that we didn't love. And it's been very hard to dial in the recipe and the methodology. Ro Gunzel, our director of brewing operations, has been really, really good at this over the past few years to get the beer just right. And even when it comes to the bottle age, I mean, the fact that we aged it for a year and a half is because early on it was good, but it wasn't great. It was a little bit more acidic than we liked. Some of the flavors weren't in a cohesive whole, and so we just waited, and we would pop a bottle every couple months just to taste, and then in December felt like it was right, and we labeled it and released it.
What would you pair it with?
So this is great with food in general. The acid balancing against salt. I've been thinking a lot about like just cheese with this. So like a beautiful New York style white pizza, I think would be great. And then like a big juicy cheeseburger, but maybe with like brie cheese or camembert on it, I think would be really great with this. Salads of all kinds, because this is bringing a sort of vinaigrette quality, although it's not too acidic. Roast turkey, especially like a nice turkey club sandwich, I think would be phenomenal. But then just classic things like a glazed ham, a pork tenderloin, or even just like a nice grilled skirt steak with some chimichurri, I think would be phenomenal with this.
Blueberry pancakes and bacon?
Yeah, that too.
Give it a shot.
Especially bacon.
You don't have to listen to us, well, although it's a good idea to listen to him. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.